night. Let's go to that first match, and it'll be Liz Johnson, joined by Carolyn Dorin-Ballard and Leanne Barrette.
Well done.
And they're ready to start this match, and as we begin, perhaps an appropriate time to say that Storm Products, the sponsor of this event, wonderful supporter of bowling, has just announced that they will contribute $100 per strike on this telecast to a relief fund. And Barbara Chrisman, co-owner, will be with us in the booth the next match to tell you the details on that. Leanne Barrette first up. And there's $100 right off the bat. We'll try and bring you totals periodically throughout the night, but we hope to raise some additional dollars, as everyone across the nation is, to help those in need right now. Liz Johnson now, the lady who shot that 300 last week, right back on the show.
Hoping probably to do it again. Knowing every strike is going to a good cause.
Absolutely. 10-pin standing, and Carolyn Dorin-Ballard quickly up. 13th show for this lady. The record in a season, 15, held by Wendy McPherson, and it was last year.
That ball came up a little light. Carolyn said she struggled a little bit early on in the games during the week, especially when the condition would go through its transition, which a lot of girls complain that they get a little lost during the transition, ball choices, lining up. So it's very common.
Liz covering up her spare, and Carolyn up quickly to shoot at the 4-pin.
All 5 girls this week using aggressive equipment. Royal pattern was 37 feet, but it played a little tighter this week than it did last week. Therefore, all the girls used a little more stronger equipment.
Leanne Barrette in the lead by 10. Qualified third with a 216.42 average.
This is her highest qualifying round of the year. She said, I want to get out of that first match, though. She doesn't want to be in the first 3.
Well, it's a good way to start with a double in attempting to get out of that first match. She did get through it just once this year so far and won that event. So if she does get through it, it's probably good, very good for her.
Yes, and she only missed qualifying second by 1 pin.
Liz coming up light, leaving a 2-8. Get a bunch, and oh,
you're kidding me, right?
She really read that correctly the minute she let it go. She said skid a bunch, and that's a bad break though, a 7-9. You don't see that very often for a right-hander.
Very bad break. Liz covering up the 2-8.
Great shot off her hand, but right there she said skid a bunch. Really recovered hard on the back. Bad break though, 7-9. One or the other should have stood, but not both.
I think you should donate 100 because it looked good.
Well, the PWBA continues to head north to the North Myrtle Beach Bowling Center for the North Myrtle Beach Classic, Sunday, September 30th through Thursday, October 4th. Then it's on to the home of the PWBA Millionaires, Tiki Lanes in Lancaster, Ohio, for the Columbia 300 Open. Sunday, October 7th through Thursday, October 11th. Pittsburgh is next on the schedule as we head to John Jones's Princess Lanes for the Three Rivers Open, Sunday, October 14th through the 18th. Be sure to stop in as the PWBA heads to your area. Leanne Barrette getting ready to step up in the 3rd frame. She's working on a double, and Travelodge gave away that $50,000 last week, but they have it on the table again this week if any lady shoots a 300 on television.
What a great sponsor. Gives the girls incentives to go out there and bowl their best.
And a big break for Leanne Barrette on that shot. You can see by her facial expression she wasn't happy, Kathy.
No, and that's just reinforcing that the lady said the condition was a little tighter this week. And that's what you'll see with a power player like Leanne. When she really gets one right, it's gonna skid a little longer than on a shorter pattern.
Strike for Liz Johnson, and Carolyn up after that disastrous 7-9, really bad break. Needs to recover here in the 3rd frame.
Come on.
So a strike for Carolyn. Leanne Barrette has the early lead. We'll be back with more from Cora Lanes in just a moment. By the Women's International Bowling Congress, striving for 86 years to identify and fulfill the needs of women bowlers. By Travelodge Hotels, first with families, relax with Travelodge. And by PWBA.com, the official site for news and information about the Professional Women's Bowling Association. We're back, and while we were away, Leanne Barrette continued to strike for a couple of frames. She leads by 51 pins. Liz Johnson with a split in the 7th. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard with a pocket 7-10 in the 7th to pretty much end their hopes, because Leanne Barrette is just commanding this match. Storm donation now up to $900. That represents 9 strikes thrown this match. Leanne Barrette quickly up in the 8th frame as she continues to strike.
Leanne's looking pretty good out there, nice and comfortable. She said that all week, though. She said this was one of her most consistent tournaments. There was not a lot of up and down.
Liz Johnson, 3-time champion this year, and a 4-pin. Now, Liz is a member of Storm staff, the sponsor of this event. Kathy, she's throwing Storm equipment.
Yeah, she's throwing a El Nino Gold, which is a particle ball. It's very aggressive, flares a lot, good for long oil or oilier conditions. And of course, one of our famous basketballs, spare balls. Very pretty.
Carolyn Dorin-Ballard with a 10-pin. She's been in the pocket this match, but no carry. Liz Johnson, meanwhile, changing to that ball for a 4-pin. Carolyn Dorin-Ballard, really for the first time in a while, it came down to that final 10th frame for her to get into this match. As you see, she has 5 titles already this year. She had to strike out pretty much to shut out Kelly Hewlett.
Yeah, this was one of the closest races where she was not in the telecast until the position round, which was very odd for all of us to see.
Versus Leanne Barrette, who's been struggling to just get into that match, and she was secured into it. She said it was a different feeling for her, and apparently she's getting a great result with that.
Yeah, she looks great, but she bowled great all week.
So Leanne Barrette advances, but first when we come back, we'll have highlights of last week's finals at the Paula Carter